Has there ever been anything in your life where you know you wanted it, but you just couldn't ask for it? You couldn't make yourself ask for it. I think as humans, we're wired to be terrified to ask for things, whether we don't think we deserve it or we're scared of what someone's going to say or we have a fear of rejection. And so we miss out on so many good things by just not asking for it. And this is particularly bad for freelancers because if you don't ask for things, you miss out on clients, you miss out on friends, you miss out on more money, you miss out on so many good things that we could be getting. And we end up, especially as freelancers, we end up with fewer clients, fewer friends, less money, more problems in life, more problems in business, a less fulfilling life in many ways, because you rarely get what you haven't asked for. If this episode comes out on time, it'll be Christmas Eve when this episode airs. And it's like wanting something at Christmas and hoping you get it, but you never ask anyone for it. You might get it, but you probably won't. Not that specific thing that you want. Or maybe a better example is you want to get married, but you never propose to anyone. That's a tough thing to make happen, especially as a man, in America at least. So in this episode, I want to talk about 8 things you should be asking for as a freelancer, but you're just not asking for. And just by asking for these things, you'll get more clients, more money, you'll have a better business. There's so many benefits to just asking. So before we dive in, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, hi, I'm Brian Hood. Merry Christmas, or if this came out late, Happy New Year. I have built 4 or 5 different 6-figure income streams. I've built a 7-figure income stream in this business, and I earned over 7 figures in my about decade of freelancing. And I consider myself a blue-collar freelancer. That is where, as a freelancer, there's people that work with like big names, huge industries. They work with like name brand businesses or big musicians or artists in the music scene. I didn't come up from that. I came from what I call blue collar. I worked with small names. I was a music producer, small bands, some signed, many unsigned. And so I feel like I've forged a very unique path in this world. And so this podcast is for you if you want to make more money from your creative skills and you want to do it without selling your soul and maybe do it in a non-traditional way. This podcast is absolutely for you. Over the years, I've gotten really good at asking for things. I am assertive. I am confident in many ways. I still have my own issues. I still have my own like insecurities, just like everyone does. But if there's something that I want, I'm not afraid to ask for it. And so I was planning out this episode today. I'm just like, man, there's so many things freelancers just never ask for. Things that can really change your business if you do these things right. So I'm going to give you 8 different things that I think are absolutely worth asking for in your business that lead to great things. And there's tons of other ones out there, but these are the 8 that I really think will push the needle for in your business. Probably the most obvious thing. The first one is just asking for higher rates. I have to start here. Many freelancers get stuck on this revenue plateau because they're too afraid to raise their rates, either with their existing clients or with new clients, but especially for those of you on recurring retainers with clients where you have this monthly recurring revenue coming in, it feels nice, but you feel like you're overworked and underappreciated for the amount of money that you're getting. And so you never ask for an increase or ask for more money. In pretty much every case that I've seen with the clients we've worked with, when you ask for more money, you get paid more money. I've seen people ask for double. I've seen people triple their rates. I've seen people just do small, I'm putting small in air quotes, 20, 30, 50% rate increases, still get yeses from their clients. And so one of the things that we are the worst at is perpetually undervaluing our services. So the first thing, if you have not raised rates recently, or you have a client that's been around with you for a while and you haven't asked for more money from them recently, let's start asking for more money. Easy way to do this, just to give you some kind of tactics on this, especially for clients that have been with you for a long time. This is easier to do on new clients. So I'll kind of just raise your rates, ask for more, and you're done there. But for those of you with like long lasting relationships with clients that have come back to you again and again, for reoccurring clients or clients that are on a monthly retainer for you, for recurring clients, there's kind of 2 different approaches for raising rates or approaching the rates conversation. And the first one is, hey, it's been a pleasure working with you for the last 2 years, last 3 years, last 5 years. Over the years, I've been raising my rates steadily with all the clients we work with. However, I've kept your rate low because I've appreciated how long you've been with me. However, moving forward, I'm going to need to raise the rates to X amount in order to properly invest back into my skills and my services and my own business. However, if this is going to materially affect your life or your business, please let me know and we can look at other options. And those options could be not raising the rates as much or at all, depending on the conversation, or finding another freelancer to pass off those clients to. That's one way to do this. And that's for, again, the clients where you feel like you have raised your rates over time with other clients, and then you've got these people that are kind of stuck at this old rate. The other kind of scenario we run into is where you've had a lot of clients, maybe you have a full roster of clients and they're all on this old rate and you haven't raised rates in a long time. But I got this kind of framework from Alex Hormozi from his book, Gym Launch Secrets, where he's raising rates on his gym members. When you have like 100 something gym members, you generally are going to send an email out to them or a letter or something like that. So this wording is kind of from that, but shift this into a one-on-one conversation. It goes something like this. This is all paraphrased. It's something like this. Hey client, been a pleasure working with you. In order to invest in 2025 and all the things that we want to do, which are X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, it might be hiring on help. It might be investing in your skills in these different areas, these different certifications, or anything that's going to benefit the end client, the client who you're raising rates on, in order to justify the rate changes. So you just list out those things that you're going to be investing in or doing in 2025. In order to make this happen, I have to raise rates. And the reason I'm doing these things in 2025 is because I want to always offer the best possible service that I can. But in order to do this, I've got to raise my rates to X amount because I don't feel right keeping my skill set or keeping my service level or keeping my team where it's at. If this is going to materially affect your life or materially affect your business, please let me know and we can make something happen, or we can look at other options. Is probably another way of saying that. Those are two different kind of ways you can do that. Again, word it to your own needs, but this is a really good framework to go from. Or if this is going to materially affect your life or materially affect your business, you can explore other options, whether it's keeping the rates low for that client or finding another freelancer, another service provider to fulfill those services at the rates that they can afford. There has to be some amount of detachment, especially in B2B space where you're working with other businesses and they don't have the budget for your services. That's not necessarily your problem. It's only your problem if you keep your rates artificially low in order to placate those people who have too low of a budget. In many cases, you're better off just sticking to your guns. This is your new rate. If they can't afford it, they're no longer a client, and go find another client to fill that spot because there is only so many slots you have in your calendar as a freelancer. So that's the first thing to ask for. They're not all going to be this long, but that's the first one, asking for higher rates. If 2025 rolls around, it's a great time to do so. Number two, second thing to ask for is ask for referrals. Many freelancers just wait around hoping their clients refer people to them, call that hope marketing. You can get more referrals just by asking. When the project's done, or if you're at a high point where the client's really happy, that's just a great time to ask for a referral. And the easiest way to ask that is to just flatter and ask, hey, Mr. Client, you are one of the best clients I've ever worked with, or I've loved working with you for X reasons, X, Y, and Z. I wish I could just work with clones of you for the rest of my life. Do you happen to know of anyone who is similar to you? Just something like that. Make them feel appreciated, flattered, and then go in for the ask. Because you truly do, if you're asking for a referral, someone, you want more people like that. So this is a great framework to use when asking for a referral from people. So flatter and ask. That's the second thing to ask for in 2025. Ask for more referrals. See how short that was compared to the pricing one? There's so much junk around pricing that I have to talk around because freelancers are terrified of that. Referrals are a little less scary, especially if you get to flatter the client first. So that one's got a little less stuff. But let's go to ask number three. And that is ask your clients if they need other services. So when you sell a client on something, they come to you for service A or service one, and you know they need other services from you, or you think they might need other services from you, just ask them. This is called cross-sell or upsell. You can do this during the sales process, the initial consultation, or you can do it after you've closed the client and after you've fulfilled on the service, and then when they need the next service. Again, every freelancer is different, so you can kind of put yourself in the situation. But when a client comes to you, you generally have a lot of skill sets, especially if you're niche down. You may be hyper-focused on, let's just say, branding for online e-commerce businesses or something like that. I've talked about this in past episodes, but generally as a designer, you have a lot of other skill sets. You can sell them. We have an entire episode about this on episode 335. My favorite 7 ways to make every client worth more. In that example, I gave a web design example. And so a client came to you for a website and you sell them on the website, but then in the actual process, you realize their branding sucks. So we need to actually rebrand them, do all their branding assets. Then we realize that they need ongoing maintenance with the website. They need copywriting to get better copy on the site for the conversions to go up, et cetera, et cetera. There's like a long list of things that you can sell them once you get the foot in the door with the one service. And many freelancers, they just say, the client came to me for this, and so I'm going to just sell them what they want versus selling them the thing that they need. A client comes to you for an outcome, and they may think the outcome is a new website. They may think the new outcome is just an album. They may think the new outcome is just a new branding package, right? But the outcome is actually something that leads to. They want a new website so that, what? An e-com so they can sell more products. What else do they need in order to sell more products? They need better copy on their site. They need conversion rate optimization. They need a faster loading website so that when they have someone click to their website, it's not taking forever to load and people bounce off the site. So if those are all the things they need, put a package together of the things that they actually need in order to get what they want. And if you're afraid of losing the sale, that's where you can just close them on the thing that they want. And then along the process, you realize, hey, here's like 30 other things you need. Let's talk through some of these things to see if we can get you closer to your goals. So we're not just sending you a website and sending you off into the sunset without getting what you actually came here for. So that is the third thing to ask for. That is, ask them if they need other services from you. And again, think about the things they need, not just things they want. Many times as a freelancer, we are the consultant for the client, where we have to educate them on the things that they think they want or don't think they need, and why those things are important to them, and why other services that you have to offer are going to be an important part of getting them to their goals. I think that e-commerce store example is a really good example that illustrates this, where the client comes for one thing, but they actually need 10 other things in order to get the goals that they want. Thing number 4 to ask for. Just effing ask. We have short codes or short names for these episodes. I don't even know what I'm going to call this episode yet. But the short title is just fucking ask, which will be bleeped out because we censor cursing on this podcast. But yeah, for fun fact, we always have just short titles for these episodes while we're planning them out. And that is the episode today. So thing number 4 to just fucking ask for is this. Ask past clients if they need services again. Here's what most freelancers do. You crush it with a client. They're super happy with how it turned out. They go off into the sunset because they don't need your thing again for a while. And then you hope one day they come back to you to hire you again. This is prevalent in the music production space. In my world where artist comes in, they record an album. It's 8 to 12 songs, all done. It takes 4 to 6 weeks to do. And you build a great relationship with the band in the studio. Takes a lot of time, effort, energy. It's a ton of work. And then they go off on tour, for the next year and a half on that album that you just produced with them, right? And then you hope they come back to you a year and a half from now, because that tends to be how long the album cycles are, especially if it's a successful album. And what many people fail to do in these scenarios is just ask them if they need your services again. So stay top of mind, reach out, stay in touch. When they start working on new music, when they start working on the next album, and start to ask if they need help with things. Do they need help with the arrangement? Do they need help with the songwriting, et cetera, et cetera? Anything where they're going to need something, what's the natural next step? Be in their inbox when that time comes to ask if they need help. Ask if they need services from you. If you ask, you have a higher chance of getting the client than if you don't. Because here's the big fundamental thing here. If you are not top of mind when the client's ready to hire, you will not get the gig. Now, in many cases, if you crushed it last time, then you're going to be the first person to come top of mind next time they need that service. But that's not always the case. Many times they meet new people. There's other people in their lives. They start to get curious about other options that are out there because it's been a year and a half, and they've kind of forgotten about the magic you had together. So if you stay in touch over time, or at the very least, show up in their inbox right around the time they'll need your services again, you at least have a shot at it. You're at least top of mind so that you were considered. Because if you're not top of mind, you will not be considered. Thing number 5 to ask for is feedback. We have a whole episode on this, actually. Episode 299, why you should ask your clients for feedback after every single project. That was part of our Infinite Client series. Go back, check that out. You can actually get that at sixfigurecreative.com/299. Long story short, if a project went poorly and you get bad feedback from your clients, you are going to improve faster than if you didn't get the feedback. A lot of times when we know we didn't do great on a project, the client's not super happy about it, we just kind of avoid that. Let's just say, we'll do better next time, right? But when you just accept the fact that you're going to get shitty feedback from them, and they're not going to be friendly with you in many cases, or sometimes they'll be cordial with you, but you're afraid of getting that negative feedback, no, embrace the negative feedback. Get it and actually take action on the feedback that you're getting, because you will get way better, way faster if you take the feedback, accept the feedback, and use that to improve for the next time, right? But many times when you crush it with the project, you'll get a lot of glowing feedback from clients, a lot of positive feedback from clients, and that is wonderful. It is motivating, but it also leads us to ask number 6 here, is you take that feedback and you turn it into testimonials or reviews. Many people never ask for testimonials or reviews. I'm kind of jumping from 5 to 6 here. Testimonials and reviews are wonderful for building up your social proof so that people know that you're legitimate. This is something we're working on in 2025 with our coaching program, where we have tons of clients that are getting amazing results, and we just haven't been asking for reviews. We haven't been asking for testimonials for them. And it hasn't been a priority for us because we've just been bringing in a majority of people who've been listening to this podcast for years. And now that we're doing more and more cold advertising, this is getting more and more important for us. So when a client is happy with you, asking for feedback, and they give you an amazing glowing message back or email back, or even a conversation, you can ask them, hey, would it be possible to copy and paste this into a review? Or would it be possible for us to use this as a testimonial on our website? That's one of the easiest ways to get reviews and testimonials from your clients. And here's the deal. As a freelancer, you're going to eventually tap out your network. You're eventually going to hit a lull in your career. Even at your height of your career, anyone listening to this podcast, there's going to be some sort of slump in your business if you're not continuously generating new leads, right? So eventually we have to get strangers to hire us. And if you want strangers to hire us, they have to see some amount of proof that you are good at what you do and the clients love working with you. Now, in the freelancing world, your portfolio is much of the proof. Just showing off the work that you've done is a lot of proof. However, the testimonials and reviews from your clients is the other side of it, because me as a business owner, I now consider myself a business owner versus a freelancer. A business owner, I have a whole team now. We have a lot of moving parts going on. And so as a business owner, when I hire freelancers, which we hire freelancers all the time for different things, there's one side of it is the past work you've done. The other side of it is how pleasant are you to work with? Do you do what you say you're going to do? How is your communication? How is your processes? How is it doing revisions or feedback with you? All of these things are important for me as the business owner. And none of those things show up in the portfolio that you have. So testimonials and reviews are a huge part of us being able to determine whether or not you are going to do your job the right way and am I going to enjoy working with you. Ask number 7. Got 2 more here. And then we'll wrap this episode up. Ask number 7 is ask for help from others. It can be very lonely out there as a freelancer. especially in kind of this remote culture that we're at now. Many freelancers work from home, kind of been that way for a while, but since 2020, it's even more prevalent now. Maybe you have a co-working space, maybe you don't. Maybe you work at a coffee shop, maybe you don't. But even if you are around other people, you still are relatively lonely because you don't have like an office culture. So when you have things you need help with, asking for help from others is a great way of collaborating on things. It can be help for projects that you're paying for, subcontracting things out to people. It can be help that you're asking for other peers or other friends that you have, cementing friendships that you already exist. Of all the things on this list, this is the one that I am worst at. I am so bad at asking for help from others. I am great to give help to others. I am awful at asking for help for others. And some of the best friends that I've made are people that have come to me for help, that I've built a relationship with them through them asking for me for help, for asking for feedback on things. But there are many things in life that you are not great at. And for everything that you're bad at or not great at, there's other people who are great at those things. So why not ask those people in your life, those people in your social circle, for help, for feedback, for guidance on something? Because many people, they want to feel valued, right? And so it's not an inconvenience to those people to ask them. When people come to me with things that they struggle with or with things they want feedback or a second set of eyes or an opinion on, I love doing that. That is why I'm a business coach now, right? Solving problems is like one of the greatest things that give me joy. So I can tell you, as someone who has a lot of people coming to them for help, but is bad at asking for help, people generally are really nice to you when they come to you for help. And if they're not, they're probably not your people. The reason I struggle here, I think, is because I don't think to ask others for help. I don't know. This number 7 is more for me than for everyone here. Some people are really good at asking for help, but it leads me to number 8 here as well. Ask others if they need help. Many people in your life are struggling with certain things that you can help them with. And again, this is a great way to pay it forward if you've gotten to the point in your life where you're good at something. You're good at X, Y, or Z. You're good at one really good area. And this isn't just in business. It could be that you have a terrible business, but a wonderful marriage. You know someone's not having a great time in their marriage and ask them if they need advice or they need help or you need guidance or you need to talk to someone about this, right? Could be the opposite. Maybe your marriage is falling apart, but your business is thriving. Or maybe it's neither of the two. Maybe it's a new hobby you're working on. Anyone out there who crushes it at sourdough and they make good, fluffy, soft loaves of sourdough? My sourdough's too chewy. The crust is a little too thick. Let me know. I'm asking for help from others right now. So pay it forward. That's my number 8. I feel like there's very little joy in life if you don't pay it forward. As you get up to the next level, help those in the level before you, help those in the same level you in other areas that you excel in. But as humans, we are very unique. We are truly little snowflakes. So there are certain things that we can help people with that we are amazing at that they're deficient in. And there's certain things that we need help with a lot that other people are excellent at that we're deficient in. So this is actually similar to the Go-Giver methodology. There's a book called The Go-Giver. We've actually had the author on the podcast. But the Go-Giver is where we always seek to provide value to other people in our lives without asking for anything in return. And that doesn't mean you can't ask for help. It just means you don't offer help with strings attached, in other words. And I think if you live your life that way, where you offer help without strings attached, then people will always be there to help you when you need help. And I have some really good friends in my life who will offer help whenever we need it. And it's not like I never ask for help. This is just not an area that I have a lot of strengths in. But you will have a much better life here if you can follow 7 and 8 here. Ask others for help and give help to others. So if you suck at this, if there are things in your life, especially around pricing and packaging, if there's things about your clients you know you want, but you suck at asking for, this is something we can help with. Whether it's a lack of confidence around asking, or you just don't know how to ask for something, or you just don't even know what to ask for in some cases. This is something we've helped hundreds of freelancers with at this point. So if you want help from us to grow your freelance business into something that's sustainable, or keep your freelance business sustainable, keep it a long-lasting career that you can enjoy for years and years to come, here's how we can help you. First, we will actually create a plan for you specifically, a unique plan for you, because we know there's no use in diving in to coaching without knowing where to put our focus, right? So what's missing in your business that needs to be added, what's broken that needs to be fixed, or what's already working that we can just skip and breeze past in order to save time. So once we've created this plan, we pitch it to you. If you love it, you'll work with us to actually implement it. If you hate it, we can just part ways. You owe us no money. This is what we found to be the lowest risk way to work with somebody, where we're not stuck working with somebody who doesn't believe in what we have created for them, like the vision or the plan that we have for their business. We're not stuck working with you if you don't believe in it. And you're not stuck working with us if you don't believe in the roadmap or the plan that we've created for you. So if you don't think we can help you, don't work with us. If we don't think we can help you, we don't want to work with you either. But if you love the plan that we've pitched to you, we will coach you one-on-one through implementing it on a month-to-month basis. Because we know that if you love working with us, you'll stick around. If you're getting results, you'll stick around. If you hate us, if you're not getting results, you'll let us go. We don't want you stuck in some sort of long-term contract. However, our average client has been with us over a year at this point because they love the experience. They love working with us. We get feedback from our clients all the time, and we have very high ratings, over 9.5 with our coaches out of 10. And this is a metric we track every week with our team. But if this sounds like something you want to learn more about, at least just to see what it looks like, just go to sixfigurecreative.com/coaching to learn more. And if you're into it, you can apply. So that is all I got for you this week. Have an amazing Christmas. Have an amazing New Year's, and we'll see you on the next episode.